Hey everyone, we're going to do something different today. I have a new project that I'm working on, and the project actually requires implementing what's known as RAG, and this is retrieval-based augmentation. Retrieval, I'm not even sure what it stands for. I think it's retrieval augmented generation, something like that. Basically, the idea is that you would have some sort of database and you have a query that you want to answer and using, typically like some generative AI API. So let's just say OpenAI GPT-4. And um, so you have to provide a data uh, to answer, the task or the question that you're trying to resolve. And basically, the process of retrieving this data so that you can provide it to the generative AI is known as retrieval based augmentation, or RAG, whatever. Um, and so, yeah, I've never actually implemented this in like a comprehensive way. I've done like basic RAG before. And so that's really going to be the purpose of today's little live stream here. And specifically, I'm interested in doing like sort of state of the art RAG for this particular application. The application I have is um, at its core, I can put down a few notes here. What am I doing? Language markdown. All right, so at its core, what we want to do or what we want to accomplish is we want to provide, um, so we want to generate contracts using AI, generate legal contracts using AI. The caveat is we want the generated contracts must comply with the laws of the target jurisdiction. So the first requirement is we need to generate legal contracts using AI. So we're going to get some description for the desired contract that we're generating. But we also want to make sure that the contract itself that we generate complies with laws of a target jurisdiction, which the user can set. And we know that we're going to be doing this using RAG. The challenges of taking this approach is one, obviously, the laws are long, like super long, right? You can't just stuff all of the country's laws into the context and say, hey, here's the country's laws. I want you to generate a contract that matches those laws or that's compliant with those laws. Um, there are a lot of laws, and sometimes laws aren't always in English. And this complicates things because, I mean, you need to, like, non English. We've seen this before, I think, I don't think it was in a live stream video, but I've come across this problem before building SRT AI because uh, languages like Arabic or Indian use up way more tokens than they do in English. And so this presents a unique challenge when you're trying to figure out like how to generate contracts in a particular target. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a particular target language, but the source material would be in a language other than English. So that that makes the problem even more. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, I don't know. It's looking at my mind. Acute. Yeah, cute. Okay. All right, cool. Desired outcomes or the goal or requirements, and then challenges. And the way I kind of see us resolving these challenges is, let me just bring this up a little bit, is essentially what we would do is we would have a laws folder here where we would just drag in all of the relevant laws, and then we do a search. So search for relevant laws based on the query, include those laws, generate the contract when requesting contract generation. So these would be the two steps here. Search for relevant laws based on user query, include them when 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 generating contract. Is there anything else we need to consider? I think this is it. Things we can try. And I'm just sort of putting these together off the cuff. I don't actually know much about what the state of the art in terms of RAG is. I've implemented like basic RAG before when building things like earlier projects that I've made, like Hadith.is or Mufti.ai, where you can ask a question and then get responses from different sources. Oh, I didn't know this had stopped working. I think the OpenAI key invalidation screwed that up for me. Oh, this one's working. That's nice. Yeah, so essentially what it does, this one's actually related to videos. And so essentially we transcribed a bunch of videos and then did like vector embedding search on the particular query to find videos that are relevant. And then we feed them into the generation process, kind of similar to what I described earlier. But that's obviously the old way of doing things. This was made like I think 9 months ago now, so I'm sure a lot of things have changed since then. But my sort of gut feeling for doing this would be, one, we could just try the old-fashioned, straight vector search based on straight vector search based on cosine similarity. That's the approach. Similarity. That's the approach that I'd used in the past. There are new methods. I'm thinking